They say Cleopatra was the seductress who brought empires to their knees. Rome painted her as a temptress, a queen defined by beauty and charm. But behind the legend lies a far darker truth. Cleopatra was not merely Caesar's lover. She was a calculating ruler who wielded poison, propaganda, and power plays that terrified even her Roman enemies. The 1st century BCE. Rome rises like a storm, devouring kingdoms one by one. Egypt, wealthy, ancient, glittering with gold, stood as the last great prize. And at its helm was an 18-year-old queen, Cleopatra VII. Picture Alexandria, marble palaces towering over the sea, the great library filled with scrolls of forgotten wisdom, markets alive with priests, traders, and scholars from every corner of the world. And in the center, Cleopatra, draped not only in silk, but in strategy. She spoke Egyptian, Greek, and half a dozen more languages. She met foreign envoys herself. From the beginning, Cleopatra knew survival meant more than wearing a crown. It meant outsmarting Rome. But Egypt was not stable. Her own family turned on her. Brothers, sisters, rivals for the throne. She was forced into a civil war, and she found an unlikely ally, Julius Caesar. To him, she was an exotic queen. To her, he was a ladder to Rome's protection. Yet beneath the charm, Cleopatra was sharpening her blade. Because power in Egypt demanded more than diplomacy. It demanded ruthlessness. Rome called her a seductress, but the truth is sharper. Cleopatra ruled through blood as much as beauty. Her younger brother and co-ruler, Ptolemy the Thegned. He drowned in the Nile during the Civil War. Accident or quiet execution. Many believe Cleopatra's hand guided his fate. Her sister Arsinoe dared to challenge her throne. Captured and exiled, Arsinoe thought she was safe inside a sacred temple. Until one night, assassins cut her down on the temple steps. The order? Cleopatra's. Carried out through Mark Antony. Even family wasn't safe from her ambition. But it didn't stop there. Ancient sources claim Cleopatra studied poisons in her palace. She tested venoms on prisoners, experimenting with serpents to find both painless and agonizing deaths. And her so-called romances? They weren't passion. They were weapons. With Caesar, she secured her throne and bore him a son, a rival to Rome's succession. With Antony, she tied Egypt's future to Rome's most powerful general. This wasn't love. This was statecraft sharpened into seduction. And when famine struck Egypt, she controlled grain like a weapon. Loyalty was rewarded with food. Disloyalty? Starvation. Cleopatra wasn't Rome's plaything. She was its mirror. A ruler just as brutal as any emperor. But here lies the question. Was Cleopatra a savior or a tyrant? Some historians argue she had no choice. Rome was unstoppable, and Cleopatra kept Egypt alive for nearly 2 decades. She was multilingual, diplomatic, and cunning, skills that delayed Egypt's fall. To them, her ruthlessness was survival, not cruelty. Others disagree. They see only a reckless queen, a woman who executed siblings, manipulated allies, and squandered Egypt's wealth on Antony's doomed war against Octavian. To them, she gambled Egypt's future for her own ambition. And then, there's Rome's propaganda. Almost everything we know about Cleopatra comes from her enemies. Was she truly a poisoner? Or did Roman historians invent the image of a wicked queen because they could not tolerate a powerful foreign woman? Even her death is uncertain. The legend says she let a serpent bite her. But others claim it was poison smuggled in a hairpin, a final act of control, denying Octavian the triumph of parading her through Rome. Cleopatra is remembered as the queen who seduced Caesar and Antony. But strip away Rome's lies, and what remains is more haunting. A ruler as ruthless as any emperor. A woman willing to kill, manipulate, and gamble everything to keep Egypt free. History is written by victors. Rome wanted her remembered as a temptress. But what if she was their equal? Every bit as cunning, brutal, and ambitious. When you think of Cleopatra now, will you see the tragic beauty? Or the queen who made even Rome afraid?